It's good, y'all. We back for another episode of the Cozy Corner. First time listening, welcome. Welcome to the coziest corner in sports on the internet, on in the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we
Um,
trying to be.
Indeed. I'm your co-host, Cozy Boy Don. My other co-host with me, Kenny Mack in the
Yes, sir.
building. You know what I'm saying? We
Yes, sir.
we coming at y'all with some more stuff. So, before we get started, we got some housekeeping things to take care of. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas to you, my brother. Even though it's
Appreciate
been
you.
about a week since uh,
It's all the few,
you know what I'm
the
saying. Whatever
faithful
you
that's tuning
celebrate,
in.
whatever
We
you
appreciate
celebrate,
it.
you know what I'm saying. We want to, you know what I'm saying. We're thankful for y'all. You feel me?
No, for real.
Um, but before we get into any anything, you good? Your football team good? Y'all good after what happened on Sunday? You want to
Shit.
talk about it?
Um, well, we good, First, before we get into the team, condolences. And if you see me gazing off, it's because as of right now, we tuned into that Tennessee Purdue game as well.
Mm-hmm.
But um, condolences to the boy Montez Sweat.
What happened?
Shit, his brother died, you know. So, yeah,
Okay.
uh,
Condolences.
yeah,
Rest in peace.
indeed, rest in peace. Shit, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I know, so I'm sure he's probably done for the season. Our season's over with, and that was the final blow. I seen that, I was like, yeah, season over.
I
It
ain't
was
seen
already
none of
over
the
with.
game. I seen like my mom was like yelling like obscenities at the TV. I'm not gonna curse, you know what I'm saying? She was yelling obscenities at the TV. Like, what is going on? Like, I was just like in my own world.
Bro,
The only thing
I
I
mean,
seen
yeah,
was Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen getting mad at each other. That's the only thing I seen.
Alabama, two Alabama boys, but definitely never saw that coming. But it doesn't really matter. It's
It
the,
don't. It's
I
foot.
don't, I
It's
don't,
that shit
yeah,
happen.
yeah. But this how, look, first drop, the Cowboys got the ball first.
Mm-hmm.
We stopped, got off the field, they punted the ball. Second play on offense. Trying to throw the pick. Did you see that? You saw that play, bro?
I saw the pick. Yeah, I saw like bits and pieces, but I didn't watch a single piece of the game live when it happened.
That shit froze up. What'd you say, bro?
I said I didn't see a single piece of the game live. I just seen like the highlights and shit. I didn't see nothing
Yeah,
that happened live.
yeah. The boy Terry had a couple steps on Trayvon Diggs. Second play of the game.
Hmm.
Taylor threw it to the inside. To the Diggs is a receiver.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say he's a
Well, he
receiver.
was a
Disrespect
receiver when he
craft.
came to
Yeah,
Alabama.
yeah. He got
Hmm.
them skills. So yeah, that was easy money. He snagged that.
Hmm.
Right. 10th pick or 11th pick of the season, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Right.
And after that, it was
So after
downhill.
that, after that, I mean, yeah, the game's over.
I
Literally,
seen like
the game was
defensive
over.
linemen scoring and offensive linemen scoring and all this other kind of wild stuff.
Yeah,
It
that
just
just
looked it
like
just looked pretty bad. I just wanted to make sure you was okay.
man. I mean, I ain't tripping, I what can I say?
You
What
know
can I say?
who y'all got? Y'all got the Eagles again this week, right?
All right, then we gonna fuck around and beat these. I bet.
Nah, you not.
Right, we better not.
You're not beating my boy. My boy looked crispy. You know what I'm saying? You
Hey,
know
he
what I'm
doesn't. He
saying?
just win. I hope he win.
You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts gang in the building. You know
So
what
I
I'm
seen they
saying?
ain't lose. They undefeated in December.
They don't lose. You know, they not losing no more with that boy back there. They gonna win the Super Bowl. All right, all
Hey,
right. I was taking it a little bit too far, but
they
yeah.
gonna get in the off. If they win that. If they win out, they in the off. So
Mhm. Um, College football. There's nothing to talk about. Before we started recording, I was looking on Twitter and I seen the coach of South Carolina getting doused in gallons of mayonnaise, which
that's
is
disgusting.
absolutely disgusting.
That's disgusting, bro.
and
That's just.
and no star players are playing in their bowl games unless it's the playoffs. So I'm
Did you see
completely checked
Virginia
out till
Tech's helmet?
tomorrow. I seen that they put the Yankees logo on one side of the helmet.
Yeah,
That's bad.
pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty
That's
good.
ugly. That's ugly. um, Everything is still marred by like either people not wanting to play or COVID. To be honest with you, like college football is like Ball games getting canceled, players not wanting to play. Uh, Even like some of the college basketball games last night, like the Alabama Tennessee, no Kennedy Chandler. It's like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't too much to talk about with college basketball either, because like Christmas week is like dead for like college sports in general, except for like a couple bowl games here and there. So, um, is there anything that you want to talk about in regards to college basketball? Anything that caught your eye, caught your attention, nothing like that?
Not really. I went to the Georgetown game like a week ago.
When they played TCU, how was that?
Yeah, I was supposed to see the white eagle in real life.
How was that
Actually,
boy Mike Miles hooping? Because you know what I'm saying, I'm a Mike Miles fan.
who is that? You gotta tell me.
Number one, the guard that played for TCU with the fade.
Yeah, point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was making plays second half.
Mm-hmm.
Second half, he put the team on his back.
Indeed,
Put the team on his back for sure.
He gonna be in the league pretty soon. Don't trip, don't trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The boy on Georgetown, their best player, I can't remember his name though, but that boy attacks the rim.
Is it Mutombo?
No, not Mutombo. I seen that too though. I didn't know that. His son played with Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It is
like,
cool.
I mean, no disrespect, James Wilder. I ain't gonna say that, but he look like James Wilder now. With the head type fade, you know.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Was there anything for me? Not really. No. I'm looking forward to Saturday, which is New Year's Day. We got a couple big time games. Baylor is going to Iowa State to play, and Villanova's playing Seton Hall, at Seton Hall. So those two games are games I'm gonna be looking for. Nothing really too crazy. I don't know what it is, but it's just like I don't know. I don't like anything outside of the NBA right now. It's kind of been mid for me, and the NBA's been kind of mid. But we're gonna talk about that in a second. But there's nothing really too much to talk about with any of the other sports right now, in my opinion. But we're here today with a game. But outside of other housekeeping stuff, I almost forgot. Rest in peace to John Madden, the legend, the living legend. Rest in peace. Built many people's childhoods, formed great football opinions, Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame commentator. Rest in peace to you, John Madden. That's pretty much it.
I was mad.
Exactly.
That's probably the earliest memory of football.
Exactly. Everybody wanted to be John. You know what I'm saying? You know? So rest in peace to John Madden. I almost forgot. But into the NBA. How much Christmas basketball did you watch?
First game was the Knicks and the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
I watched none of that. Sure Young wasn't playing.
No.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's the first time in my life that I can ever remember that I was not up at 12 o'clock. I mean, I was up, but I wasn't watching basketball at 12 o'clock.
Hey, man.
That's bad on the NBA.
What was they supposed to do? There was nothing they could do. The game already scheduled. You should. Ain't no postponing it at that point. They got enough players. We talked about it last week. They ain't, nah. They postponed the game last night because of like circumstance, because teams on the road. I think Miami was going to San Antonio, and how was they going to sign a player and fly him there within 2 hours? You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't finna happen. But Atlanta has like 12 of their like. Only people that I know that's still playing is Cam Reddish and Trae Young that's playing right now. But other than that, you got like Lance Stevenson. I don't know nobody else, bro. Shawnee Brown was playing. Shout out to Shawnee Brown, good Michigan. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
John Collins, what he got COVID on too?
John Collins, Bogey, Sharif Cooper. When that first thing happened, I was like, all right, this Sharif, this is your chance. You can get some minutes. But then, boom, after one game, it's like, oh, he's out. Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter had surgery. He's still out until later on in January. It's just like a lot. They just like, you know.
We gonna get to the off though.
Hopefully, they in 12th right now. They need to get
They're not getting to the off.
They might. They got it. It's still like 50-some games or 40-some games left. They can still get there, but you got to get healthy.
About to get crucial for them.
They're gonna have to get healthy, bro. And their defense has been like, buddy, it's been bad. It's been bad, bro. This team's been picking them apart, and they played the
You sure?
Bulls in back-to-back games, which doesn't help
Yeah, the
because,
Bulls got Brian and
bro,
I definitely been seeing that. I seen the first game. I didn't watch the second game because I knew it was gonna happen.
it was close for a little while last night. I was watching it. I had it on just
You know,
yeah, I had it on. It was just like okay, they keeping pace, and then by halftime they were down by like 16, and then after that it was over.
DeMar and Zach Levine.
You know what I'm saying? I
One of
guess
his cool things.
DeMar and Zach are crazy. That where do they rank as a duo this season? Are they the best duo in the league right now? Like based on just this season, like totality. From what you've seen, because I think they are.
I don't know.
Because you gotta think about it, like what other two players are really dominating like they are right now, in tandem.
I mean, probably not numbers wise, but that boy Giannis and Drew, that played them that 1-2.
Mm-hmm. Nigga done
Whenever they
froze
was
again.
nasty, B. Oh yeah, keep.
Who else? I mean, you can't say Bron and AD because Bron and AD haven't played more than like 4 games together because health. There's no Kawhi and Paul George. Who else? You could say Steph and Draymond. I don't know. You can say them. Who else can I think of? No John Jaren. It's really just been John Desmond Maine. You know what I'm saying? And I know his last name is Bain, but he's in Memphis, Maine, so he's Desmond Maine.
He making me look decent on that Bradley Bill Jr. comment. But I didn't think I was gigging money.
Yeah, man.
Might have taken it a little too far.
He putting that ball in. He didn't shoot all that well last night, but over this past stretch, he's been really good.
Yeah, that him and Slow Mo going for that rebound almost cost him the game yesterday.
Speaking of that, we gonna wrap up the Christmas stuff real quick. The Celtics blew a lead to the Bucks, much to the chagrin of our friend Calvin, who's a Celtics fan. He was so pissed, bro.
And they just turned it up on him. That's what I'm saying.
He was so pissed. See,
But
it's a thing, right? Because it's like now Jason Tatum is out in COVID protocols, which sucks. Because I was finna just do like a deep dive on if him and Jalen could really work and just watch a long stretch of them playing together, to see what's going on. Because the Celtics have been really mid this year, because I feel like they're both ISO heavy guys. Dennis is in COVID protocols too, I think. But their team lacks essentials to go around them. Like, I know every team isn't gonna be perfect and things like that, but they really need shooting around them first of all. And Dennis Schroeder filled the role of playmaking for both of them, but he's out right now. And he can also score, obviously, but they need shooting. They really need shooting to go around them because defenses can just load up on them and then they don't have any room to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Because if Jason and Jalen love to get to the basket, that's how they get their scoring going. Then they start hitting jumpers and just keep building outwards into scoring. But if you're going up and there's 3 people with the paint, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into addressing some teams' problems a little bit later on with our NBA trade game. You feel me? We got some trades we're going to discuss, ranging from just like really in the weeds trades to like outlandish stuff. So stay tuned. We got some of that stuff coming in right now. What else happened? The Warriors beat the Suns. The Suns, I don't really know what to make of it. The Warriors just came with that pressure, and Otto Porter closed them out in the fourth quarter, which is crazy. Otto Porter came in crazy, talking crazy, hitting all types of jumpers, contested jumpers. It was crazy. This is a quick question. In a series between these two teams in the playoffs, hypothetically, hopefully the Western Conference Finals, who are you picking in that series?
assuming Clay and James Wiseman is there, so I take the Warriors.
I'm leaning more towards the Warriors because they have more players that I trust. But I don't know what Clay's gonna look like when he comes back, and I don't know what James Wiseman's gonna look like when they come back because they're clicking right now. Even though they lost last night, well, not last night on Tuesday to the Nuggets because Draymond is in COVID protocols and Andrew Wiggins is still out. They got Jordan Poole back.
3 points at halftime. That's why they lost.
They made a comeback though.
They did.
They did make a comeback because the Warriors are always gonna make a comeback when they're at home. Isn't there? No way.
Man, that was at home too.
Mm-hmm. They only ended up losing by 3, but yeah. The Warriors have more players that I trust, but I just don't know how the dynamic is gonna work when Klay comes back because they're not gonna just throw him in head first, and then that's gonna cut somebody's minutes off. I don't know whose minutes is gonna cut off. It's probably gonna cut off Kuminga's minutes or something like that, or somebody of that nature. Even though Kuminga plays mostly like the 4 or the small ball 5, he's been solid in that role, you know. Especially on Christmas, he was getting to the spots, taking advantage of plays. He had a nice little reverse layup on the baseline 4-and-1 when JaVale McGee tried to pull his goddamn head off. But I don't know. It might be too many cooks in the kitchen, but as of right now, I'm going to rock with the Warriors just because they have more players that I can trust. And they have Steph, and Steph is generational. So, and then after that, we got the prime time game. The Los Angeles Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets. Now, we seen vintage James Harden. And it's weird to say vintage James Harden, but we seen what James Harden is in that game against the Lakers. And the next game against the Clippers. That man is crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even watch that game. I mean,
bro.
I didn't want to see that, to be honest. But I wish I would have watched it.
Patty Mills had it going too. Patty Mills was.
That's how we coming and shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a Spurs forward.
Who? And for the Lakers, this is really gonna like delve into what the Lakers got going on right now because they're struggling right now. They're like 1-5 in their last 6 games. And I know AD's been hurt, but LeBron is doing all he fucking can, bro. He's doing all that he can muster. He's had like 30 points in 6 straight in all 6 of these games, and they've lost 5 of them. He has like no consistent help right now, and it's killing them. And like I don't know, this is gonna delve into like the trade talks because Russell Westbrook is not the problem. He is one of many problems because he plays inconsistently. Like in last night's game, for example, the 4th quarter, it was bad. But the first 3 quarters, he was cool. You know what I'm saying? He had like 10 rebounds, like 8 assists. He wasn't taking no crazy shots. He wasn't making no crazy defensive lapses. He wasn't turning the ball over. And then the 4th quarter comes, he starts missing shots, missing wide open layups and dunks, turning the ball over.
The first play I seen when I turned the game on last night, literally him missing that layup. That's the first play I seen.
He's done that in like 3 straight games. He did it against the Nets. He missed a dunk against the Rockets, and he missed a dunk last night against the Grizzlies. And I like Russ, and Russ has been cool. The last 2 he did, he just missed a dunk. Like he lost the ball or whatever the hell happened. Ball went flying the other way. But it's just like the situation that the Lakers have put themselves in is kind of, they feel kind of trapped because Russell Westbrook, it's not easy to just trade him because not everybody wants him, first of all, because of his contract for one, and every team he's been on has just been, ever since like leaving OKC, it's just been like, this don't work, this don't work, this don't work, this don't work, and then it just continues to do the same thing. So it's like, why would I trade for him? Why would I give up something of value for something like that? And it could work for some teams that are middling or teams that are at the bottom, but still, it's like, why would I still want that for 2 more years? But The Lakers reclamation project begins with adding more like quality role players because their role players they're not really role players, to be honest with you. Like, you don't think of Carmelo as a role player, do you?
No,
You think of Malik Monk as a role player.
unfortunately.
Do you think of and the other guys like Avery Bradley's there for defense. He's not gonna give you consistent shooting.
God damn.
Um, who else? Ken Bazemore is not gonna give you like consistent shooting. He's just gonna play defense. Kendrick Nunn hasn't played a single game this season. THT has been bad over the stretch. He had a good stretch when he first came back, but he's been bad.
Oh,
He's 21.
yeah, we got to shoot. But it's not easy playing with the great one of the.
It's not. I'm not saying that he's bad. I say he's been playing bad. Who else is on this team that is really Rondo's just there? He's in COVID protocols. He doesn't get any minutes. Trevor Ariza has only played like one game before he got put in protocols, which is you can't take nothing away from that. DeAndre Jordan doesn't play anymore, and Dwight Howard plays on occasion.
So the coach got COVID too, right?
Yep, David Fizdale's been coaching. So it's like it's a mix of being unhealthy and not having chemistry, alongside with not projecting that I'm projecting that they don't have the right pieces. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have like immediate picks to trade, and even with that, you don't want to break your entire your future, because their next pick isn't until like 2025, 2026, like first round pick. So it's like you could trade that now and get something of quality, but by the time that comes, you're probably just gonna have AD on your team. Isn't what the fuck? That was crazy. My bad, y'all. AD is probably gonna be the only person on that team. LeBron's probably gonna be retired by 6 years from now, and everybody else is probably gonna be gone. If you plan on playing a long run with THT, he might still be there, but it's like, what do you do from there? And then you go back to the Lakers' bad days when it was like Robert Sacre and Steve Blake, and it was just bad. You know what I'm saying? Xavier Henry and stuff like that. So it's like, where do they go from here? You feel me? And that starts with these trades. So we got, I want to say like 10 trades here. They're not all Lakers. They start with the Lakers though. We're gonna discuss some of these, and we want to know your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So start with the first one. 3-team trade. Now none of these is Russell Westbrook trades or anybody of that caliber. We talk strictly role players. The Los Angeles Lakers get Kenrich Williams, Kenny Hustle, a perfect type of role player to put in. He can play the 3, he can play the 4, he can shoot, he can defend, he's gonna hustle. His nickname is Kenny Hustle. You know what I'm saying? The Denver Nuggets get DeAndre Jordan, who can use a backup big, or can just, you know what I'm saying, get off of Bobo, who's going to be going to Oklahoma City to play with them. What do you think of this trade?
Yeah. Okay. Commissioner got to okay that. We got to free Bobo.
We got to.
Because realistically, he's never going to play on the Nuggets.
No.
Like, last year, for the last couple years, we were imagining, like, yeah, what if we would see Jokic versus and Bobo on the court at the same time? But it's just not possible.
No, not with the development, the lack of like minutes that he's get or opportunities, because he's on a playoff team. He's not going to get a lot of minutes to try to develop his game in game. So if he goes to OKC, who's lacking a real like backup center, not a backup center because Mike Muscala is cool, Derek Favors is starting center, but it's like, hey, if you can get him for, you know what I'm saying, for Kenrich Williams, who is on a 2-year, $2 million contract. By all means, you can go ahead and do it. And Kenrich Williams is not going to be a part of your long-term future anyway. So that's not bad at all. You feel me? The next trade that we got in regards to the Lakers is another one. You know what I'm saying? The Los Angeles Lakers receive Cody Martin from the Charlotte Hornets for 2 second-round picks, one in 2023 via Chicago and one in 2024 via the Wizards or the Grizzlies. Cody Martin is on a 1-year, $1.7 billion contract. And Cody Martin can play to a lesser degree that Alex Caruso role that y'all didn't want to pay for. You know what I'm saying? Cody Martin is 6'5", can defend, he can shoot, he's aggressive, he's athletic. Booby Grant?
Who was guarding Ja last?
Avery Bradley. For the most part. It wasn't.
Caruso would have been on that.
He would have. But at the same time, you're not expecting Ja to be 6 to 7 from 3, though.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like 6 to 7 from 3, damn near perfect from the line. And a lot of the stuff that he was getting to the basket on was in pick and roll because they were just attacking Dwight or somebody like that or running double drags. And Ja's elite at snaking pick and rolls and getting to a spot to get floaters and stuff like that. So,
speaking of, we were talking about Russell Westbrook.
mm-hmm.
See that last play?
So
He let Ja get that bucket on it, though.
That's facts. That's facts.
He let Ja get that last bucket on it.
No, it's because it's not all bad with Russ. You know what I'm saying? It's not all bad. But I love what Ja did on that last play when Malik Monk had it. People were saying he should have swung it, but Ja Morant. So Malik Monk is in the slot right here. The corner is over here, right? Ja Morant came off of Russ and played him like this, so he couldn't get to the lane. He couldn't get a passing lane to actually throw the ball that way. He didn't come and run straight in front of him. He ran to the side of him. Yeah.
That was Ja guarding.
Ja was guarding Russ in the corner. And Malik Monk said it. He ghosted it. Malik Monk went to go set a screen for LeBron to get a guard on him. But they doubled, and Malik Monk ghosted the screen and kind of went to the three. He was open for a second, and Ja came and helped. But he didn't help in a traditional way where he would run and face him, like face to face. He came around to the side of him, so he couldn't swing it to Russ in the corner. You get what I'm saying? So, and then he just ended up going back to LeBron, and then they just turned it over. So.
Yeah, that was pretty harsh. That was hard to watch.
That was great defense, though. Great defense. You know what I'm saying? And
should be playing some defense. No.
Hey, man, that's it. Slow mo. Hey, can I 1 second? Hey, bro, Kyle Anderson might have the ugliest jump shot in the NBA. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah,
I'm dead serious. He'll catch the ball and like extend the ball out and lean back and then shoot it and be like, bro, that's so slow, bro. And it's like, and it's in the front of his face, so it's like you can't even see the basket. It's ugly. It's mad ugly. It's mad
I've been
ugly.
watching that man for too long.
It's mad ugly, bro. And then we're going to get a little bit crazy. This is a Russell Westbrook trade. This is the last trade we got for the Lakers, and then we're going to move on to some of the other teams that could possibly use some trades. You get what I'm saying? And move some people around. This is a 4-team trade that gets a little bit kooky. The New York Knicks add Russell Westbrook and Christian Wood. Okay. The Houston Rockets get R.J. Barrett. The Orlando Magic get Kevin Knox, Obi Toppin, and Luka Samanic. And the Lakers get Gary Harris, Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, and Mo Bamba. This is a concoction right here. So the thing with Kevin Knox and Obi Toppin going to Orlando, more young talent that you can accumulate and try to develop and see who's good. The Knicks want star power. So you get Russell Westbrook and you get a quality big and Christian Wood to go next to Julius Randle, so you're not clogging up the paint. And the Houston Rockets get R.J. Barrett, another young player who you can put on the wing next to Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. So, and the Lakers get Gary Harris, who's another guy who can play that sort of Caruso role. Evan Fournier, who can score the ball. Kemba Walker, who you can use in slots to attack and be a part of the bench unit that comes off the bench, and he could get him up and start running and scoring and things like that. And you get Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba is a legitimate big man who gives you vertical spacing. He can block shots. He can shoot threes. He's somebody that you could play next to Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis can stop complaining about not playing the 5. About playing the 5. So, that works. for the Lakers. I do have one more question for you, my brother. What do you think about Anthony Davis this year before he got hurt? Do you think what you think of his performances before getting hurt?
Seeing since he won a championship.
Say that again.
So it's just what we've been seeing from him since he won a championship. Taking them nights off, he chilling, he just chilling. He's not. He could be way better. He's not even averaging 20 and 10.
Nah, he is because it's just that easy for him. But so I feel like the Lakers going into this season, the idea of Russell Westbrook was cool, but they had a chance
They
to.
definitely can't play together.
They had a chance. They had a chance, right? This man was gonna take a pay cut. This man has been playing at MVP level this year, and he could have took a pay cut and went to the Lakers. You know who that man is? DeMar DeRozan. He said this in an interview, like he would have took a pay cut to come home. So imagine if you pair LeBron James, who's the point guard, with DeMar DeRozan and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, be chilling.
DeMar DeRozan is averaging 26 points a game. He's absolutely murdering whoever's in front of him. Nobody can guard him.
All-star started this year.
Bro. That is crazy. If you go back and think about it, it's like, yeah, you could have had him. But you chose to trade 4 of your role players for Russell Westbrook. Okay. So moving on from that craziness and that circus, we got some more trades that we gonna throw out here. I want to get some of your thoughts on this. Now this one is an in the weeds trade because I am a nerd about basketball. The New Orleans Pelicans, who are lacking a true point guard, trade Tomas Satoransky, who's on a 1-year, $10 million contract, and Jackson Hayes to the Raptors for Goran Dragic. What do you think?
I'm going to definitely had him better.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking before we started and said they only 5 games from the Nuggets for 5 games for the 5th seed.
Mm-hmm.
They get in the playing game with Goran Dragic, healthy Goran Dragic.
And the thing with this is, with the way that the Pelicans roster is constructed, that playmaking role was solidified. Well, not solidified. It was sliced out for Kira Lewis, however you pronounce his name, Kira Lewis Jr. He was playing solid, but then he tore his ACL, so he's not gonna be here for the rest of the season.
And he tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm. It was about a month ago, I want to say, when they played the Nuggets. I'm pretty sure he is because he was like 17 at Alabama, so he's really, really young. He was playing solid in his minutes.
I said at least he got the injury out the way. I hate that.
You know the freakiest thing about that is the spot where he tore his ACL is the same exact spot where Ricky Rubio tore his ACL the other night. The same type of way. Get to the paint, jump stop, and then boom, went down. And he knew it immediately. It was just like, nah.
We all knew it immediately.
Yeah, as soon as he's like, nah, he started grabbing his, it was over with. Get well, Ricky Rubio. You were one of the key cogs for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and hopefully they can fight through this stretch without him or Garland or Sexton. Now they don't have a real guard, so hopefully they can get through this stretch.
All the guards they did have.
No, all 3 of them are out. It really is. It really is.
And that boy almost had a triple double though.
He did. Ricky Rubio has been
get the triple
like
double. He got the triple double. Yeah, round of applause with the deal.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Olympic ball. But that boy he been hooping too much, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
This last year and a half, he been hooping too much, bro. Olympics. I mean, that shit real, bro.
Yeah. But he was really good. Like, salute to you, Ricky Rubio. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get a bag this summer because you was on a 1 year. You're going to get another bag, my bro. So, hopefully it's with the Cavaliers. So, but yeah, I like this trade for back to the trade. I like this trade for New Orleans because you're taking without Zion, you're taking some of the playmaking load off of Brandon Ingram, and Ingram can just focus on scoring, and Goran Dragic can also score, so he's a threat in pick and rolls and things
Devontae
like
too.
that. Devontae, I don't look at Devontae as a playmaker. He's just a scorer and a shooter.
But
He's
it's
just
that
under.
playmaking.
Yeah,
That's scoring.
yeah. Devontae can put the ball in the hole, and that's what he's there to do. He's there to be a shooter and get buckets. That's the only thing he's there to do. But Goran provides a playmaking punch that none of their other guards have at all. Like when you think about Nikhil Alexander-Walker's there to score. Josh Hart plays defense and is a hustle guy. Trey Murphy, the third, Herb Jones. Shout out to Herb Jones, man. Shout out to Herb Jones. You know what I'm saying? The Swiss Army knife out of Alabama. Do everything on the court. He's developing his jump shot. He can play lockdown defense. He can make just a tad bit. He's not a heavy usage playmaker. Make a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And just be a connective player. So shout out to you, Herb.
Indeed.
But they don't have any playmaking outside of Brandon Ingram, and if Zion ever comes back, you know, so that would be.
Word on him. They say he just had a setback 2 weeks ago, huh?
He's still they still just waiting to reevaluate. Ain't nothing to talk about really, except for the fact that like he might want out. He's doing like weird stuff to try to get out. But I don't know what's true and what's not, because people were saying he was falling asleep in film, not going to rehab, and things like that. That was before the setback actually happened. But it's just like,
I was falling asleep in rehab. I mean, in the film, he ain't playing.
hey, bro, this was his rookie year. You remember when he was falling asleep during the game when he was on the bench and he wasn't playing?
But that court is boring.
It wasn't in New Orleans. I think it was in Detroit. He was just going like, oh shit.
Detroit has good fans, but it's just nothing to go to the game. So I ain't gonna disrespect the fans like that, but I understand why he was asleep at the Detroit game.
Yeah.
Boring game. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good solid trade for the New Orleans Pelicans to upgrade their playmaking. Now, this one we talked about the Celtics a little bit ago and how they lack shooting and playmaking. This is not the perfect trade, but I'm gonna tweak it a little bit because this original trade was Josh Richardson going to the Jazz for Joe Ingles. Now we'll change it up a little bit because some of the players that signed recently can't be traded until January or like 6 months after they actually sign. So Marcus Smart goes to Utah because they need defense, shooting, and he could provide a layer of playmaking as well, the same way Joe Ingles can, but just on a higher level. And the Boston Celtics get Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles is no, scratch that. That doesn't make sense because Marcus Smart is on like a 5-year deal. Nah, fuck it, I'm gonna keep it in there. Joe Ingles goes to Boston. He provides more shooting than Marcus Smart would. He provides a level of playmaking, and he's not a terrible defender. So, I'm rocking with that.
That's true. He's not a terrible defender.
He's just slow.
I'm like, you think they don't play no defense? No, god damn, they trade Marcus Smart.
But even if you do the Josh Richardson thing, it's just like,
yeah. I mean, he's in COVID right now too.
Why do I keep getting these pop-ups on my computer right now? Is who in COVID?
Josh Richardson.
No, he's not. So.
When he doing stuff, they got the boy Peyton Pritchard stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, but I mean, depending on how you want to look at it. But shout out to the boy Peyton Pritchard. The boy can hoop.
They lost to the Clippers last night.
Yeah, they lost to the Clippers.
No PG, no Kawhi. I don't think Reggie Jackson played. Who else did Brandon? No Brandon Boston.
I don't think Kenneth was out there.
Nah, he was out there. Luke Kennard was out there. Marcus Morris Sr. was out there. I think Batum was out there still. But still, like, Jaylen Brown was 13 of 36. and had
13 36.
no assists.
Yeah.
The Celtics was like 4 of like 30 from 3.
They did that against us. I think it was last year. Might have been this year.
I think it was that this year.
It
Yeah, it
was
was.
21.
Nah,
It
that
was
was
this
this year.
season.
That was
Was
this
it?
season. It was like early in the
Was it
season.
again? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a graphic. Okay, so okay. God damn. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're just going. I'm not going. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so that helped.
We fucks with Jaylen Brown, so we ain't gonna say too much about that. But
Yeah, I like Jaylen Brown, but it's just like,
Yeah.
come on now, dog.
Yeah.
Come on now, big dog.
Jason Tatum, I don't even know if Jason Tatum would have shot that many shots without one dime. Jason Tatum, that nigga, yeah. But Jaylen Brown be buggers too. They both be buggers.
But can you blame, like, who was he gonna pass the ball to?
Yeah, I can always see.
You know what I'm saying? That. Like, reliably. No disrespect to Romeo Langford, Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford, Robert Williams. Yeah, he was out. He could have threw a lob at least.
He ain't throw one lob. Well, he ain't dunk it. He missed it or something. We just gonna assume he ain't make the dunk.
We gonna have to, because that's a little bit disrespectful for you not to get an assist but get a 36 shot.
He ain't throw one lob. But you said what did he shoot from the three? Like about 10 threes.
Hold on, let me pull up the NBA the website so I can see this. The man that's crazy. I feel like we're piling on him, but that's hilarious, bro. That is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, you know what? They're getting up the shots. I just hope he would have made a little.
He was 1 for 13 from 3. He only shot 5 free throws. He still had 30 though.
He got 30?
On 36 shots, though. That's kind of crazy. So, as a team from 3, they were 4 for 42 from 3.
Dang.
Which is...
They only scored 80 points.
Yeah, which is 9.5%. Contrast that with the Clippers, who shot 39% from 3. Who took the most shot attempts? Marcus Morris took the most shot attempts. Can you guess how many shots he took? No. 9.
9. He took the most?
Yes.
What?
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. That's not how many shots he made. I'm sorry. He took 21. I'm sorry. My bad. I was tripping. My bad.
He still took the most, though?
Yeah, he took 21. But if he took 9 shots at 24, I'm gonna say, God damn, ain't nobody beating him if they doing that.
He only took 9 shots. He had 20 though.
Yeah.
If he only took 9 shots, they was trying to get the Celtics the game because he's the only one out there.
All right, so we gonna move on to the next trade. This is another 4-team trade between the Indiana Pacers, Dallas Mavericks, Portland Trail Blazers, and Orlando Magic. Now, this includes Indiana getting C.J. McCollum and Maxi Kleber, the Dallas Mavericks getting Karis LeVert, the Portland Trail Blazers getting Gary Harris and Miles Turner, and the Orlando Magic getting Reggie Bullock. This provides many things for all 4 of these teams. The Magic struggle with shooting. Reggie Bullock provides shooting and defense. The Trailblazers struggle mightily with defense. Miles Turner and Gary Harris help with that, and they both can shoot, so that spaces and opens up the floor. The Mavericks struggle with a scoring punch outside of 3 players: Porzingis, Jalen Brunson, and obviously Luka. Tim Hardaway Jr. is not creating shots for himself, so I'm not going to count him in that scoring punch. He can play off of those guys pretty well, but Karis LeVert is a guy who can create his own shot, so that helps them out. And then obviously the Pacers lack like a high tier scoring guard, and C.J. McCollum can provide that, and Maxi Kleber can play next to Sabonis because he can shoot a little bit and he can play defense and things like that.
Malcolm Brogdon don't gotta have the ball all the time. We'll bring it up as much as he does.
And I feel like C.J. McCollum's a better decision maker than Karis LeVert with the ball.
At the age, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think of this trade as a whole?
Who are the Magic giving up?
They're giving up Gary Harris. They're getting off of 20 million to get 9.5 million over 3 years, which is equals out to be more money, but fuck it.
Oh yeah.
Because they ain't signing nobody. It's not like they're gonna sign a free agent or nothing like that. So
Yeah, I mean, he's cool. Gotta let Gary go.
who do you think gets the most out of this trade? Is it Indiana, Dallas, or Portland?
Tough question. Because Portland's getting Miles Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is getting Carrots.
Mm-hmm.
Which could be deadly. What? But Luke, because that's really all he need.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody a real second up.
Well, to give credit to KP, over the stretch since Luke hasn't been playing, he's been killing. Yeah. He's been more aggressive, getting closer to the basket and things like that. So I think KP is their solidified number 2 with this roster, even if they get Karis LeVert.
Yeah. But in the off, I don't know. I don't trust him. We're gonna see.
We're gonna see. But to be honest with you,
he wasn't included in the trade though.
Who?
Porzingis.
No, he's staying. No, he's not going nowhere.
And you said Portland's getting who else? Turn in
Gary Harris. Yeah. I can't poke holes in this trade because it's like, at that point, if you trade for Miles Turner, what you gonna do with Nurkic? Is Gary Harris gonna come off the bench and things like that? You know. Because it depends on what you do with Rocco. Because if you trade in CJ, you slot Norman Powell up to the 2, his natural position. He shouldn't be playing the 3 because he's like 6'4". So if you slot him up to the 2, do you put Gary Harris at the 3? Because Gary Harris has played 3 before. Or do you keep Rocco in at the 3 and then do Larry Nance Jr. and Miles Turner and bring Nurkic off the bench? What do? You get what I'm saying?
Nurkic is about 7 foot high.
He's 7'1", like 280.
But he's not.
Unless you play 2 big men, unless you play him next to Turner, or Turner next to him, you can. But he can't guard no goddamn 4. I know that. I'm talking about defensively. Offensively, it could work because Miles Turner can stretch the floor, but defensively, I don't know. And their best lineup would be with Larry Nance Jr. and Miles Turner starting and closing. So that means you have to trade Nurkic, which could net you some bench help. I don't know what bench help or where, but that could open up some things for them.
Yeah, it's interesting way too.
Mm-hmm.
This is a reality Nurkic might be facing soon.
It really might be. It really might be, bro. This next trade we got is very simple. The Sacramento Kings get Jeremy Grant from the Detroit Pistons, and the Kings trade Buddy Hield to the Pistons. In my mind, this makes sense. The Kings need defense. The Pistons are the worst shooting team in the NBA. Pretty simple.
Are you gonna get off on the Pistons? You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad as shit. But I like that trade. I really do like that trade.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could possibly get the Kings into contention.
Yeah,
not
it can.
But
it could
next season, maybe. If not this. Well,
not this season.
How long is he out?
You're right. I'm not too sure how much longer he's gonna be out. I thought it was like 6 to 8 weeks. I didn't think it was gonna be like forever, ever.
Yeah, that could help them. That's really gonna help the Kings. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Kings are smart enough to be. So,
who do you like that trade? Who do you think they could actually? Who would they actually like realistically in your brain, since they have bird brains? Who would they trade for? But who would they trade Buddy Hield for? Because their decision making has been questionable, to say the least, over the past few years. Because if you think about it, you have like 4 point guards on your team.
Contract?
He's 3 years, $22 million.
Buddy might be
per.
Yep.
Per, not. So it's like 66 million. And Jeremy's 2 years, 20. So that's about 40 million. But I like the versatility that gives the Kings because if you want to rock with Tyrese and De'Aaron, because with Alvin Gentry being the coach, De'Aaron is took on, like I said before, more of the scoring role, like being a scorer. Now, defensively, that helps because if you put out a lineup of Tyrese, De'Aaron, Jeremy Grant, Harrison Barnes, and what's bro name, Rashawn Holmes, you got something with that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying out a lineup of who did they start last night? Shout out to Chimezi Metu because he hit the game winner. He started. It was Tyrese, De'Aaron, I want to say Harrison Barnes, Metu, and then Rashawn Holmes. So that could work, and then it brings more versatility off the bench, and then you can bring Metu in off the bench alongside Marvin Bagley and rip and run with them, with Terrence Davis and Davion Mitchell and all that kind of stuff. Davion Mitchell was getting his game off last night too, or at least in the first half. He came in and gave IT. He was giving Isaiah Thomas some buckets, boy. Isaiah Thomas was giving some buckets back, but it was just like there was one where he just came down in and out, and get to the mid range, pull up, bucket. It was, yeah. That was nasty. And then the Pistons played quite possibly the ugliest game of basketball I've ever seen last night because they don't have nobody out there. It's just like the Hamidou Diallo show.
Yeah, that was a weird game. Every time I looked at the score, the other team was up.
I was looking like one time I was like, the Pistons are up by 10 points in the fourth quarter. I'm like, what the hell is happening? And I turned it on and it's like, I can't watch this. Because apparently everybody in the starting lineup for the Knicks was a minus, like a double-digit minus.
20 plus.
They spelled Emmanuel Quickly's last name wrong on the back of his jersey. It was like quick. I can't even pronounce it. It was the C was before the I. It was bad. RJ Barrett told somebody to sit down and shut the fuck up, because you came to watch him play. That was a mess. But shout out to my Kentucky boy Hamidou Diallo. I think he had like 30. So because he was the only person out there. And we're coming down to our last trade. This one I didn't tell you about. This happens to do with Bradley Beal. It's very simple. Bradley Beal goes to the 76ers for Ben Simmons. Yep.
That's all you tell me.
Bradley Beal goes to the 76ers for Ben Simmons. Simple. No 3-team, no 4 teams, no picks, just straight up.
Yeah.
As a Washington Wizards fan, how do you feel about that, my brother?
Off the air, I told you, I'm not, not tapped in with the Wizards right now. We're seeing two different things, right? That they got going on. So, but if Bradley Beal wants to go, I'm with that.
Well, I wouldn't. The point I was coming at it from when I was like putting this together, it wasn't for more so a Bradley Beal thing. It was more of an organization thing. It's just like we're kind of capped out with you right now. Like I don't know how high of a ceiling we have as you as our best player, and you start to build towards the future while still maintaining a playoff reputation with the team that you have around the team that you will have around Ben Simmons, and you give Spencer Dinwiddie more time with the ball in his hands, and their defense has been bad over this stretch, to say the least. And Ben Simmons is an all defense, like a defensive player of the year, all first team all defense type of player. So,
I mean, if we pull the trigger on that, I won't be mad, but I just know we got a lot of work to do. Because with this current team, I mean, I'm a Spencer Dinwiddie fan before he was a Wizard. Like, since he was in Detroit, like, it was, man, getting about 10 minutes. He's tough, though. He's tough. But, I don't know if he can play with Ben Simmons, though. Is he gonna? Because he was gonna be the 2.
Ben Simmons is not playing the 1, my brother.
Who's gonna play the 1? So
Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie is not a 2. Spencer Dinwiddie is a point guard.
He's not. He is a 1, but
It kind of bends the lineup flexibility in the starting lineup if you don't
It
put him
fuck
in,
up the whole team.
because it's like, okay, so if you're not starting Ben at the point guard, what do you do with Daniel Gafford? Is he starting? What do you do with Thomas Bryant? Everything like that. So it kind of does kind of bend things a little bit, but on the surface it makes sense, because if you put a lineup of, say for instance, if even if you do put Dan out there, Daniel Gafford. So if you have Spencer Dinwiddie, KCP, Kuzma, Ben, and Gafford out there, that defensively is crazy. Defensively, that shit is wild. And if you want to tilt it, and if you want to tilt it more towards offense, you would take Kuzma out, and then you would put a what's bro name? You could even, yeah, you could put Kispert out there. You have flexibility. You could put Kispert out there. You could put Rui out there if Rui ever gets back on the court. You could you could put Denny out there. And like, yeah.
Bill's been cold too, huh?
Yeah.
That's really why I ain't been watching. There's been no point in me watching these damn games and Bradley Bill not playing. What the hell am I watching now?
Oh, did you see? I sent you the thing. He got vaccinated the other day.
Oh, look at that. I want to see that. Oh, look at that. Well,
I mean,
good. Some people have side effects. Hopefully he's not one of them.
That's true. That is true. And one last thing before we get on up out of here. Kyrie is back officially. He's ramping up, and he'll be ready in about 2 weeks to play. They just got KD out of protocol, LaMarcus Aldridge as well as Kyrie, so they're getting back to full strength. And with the way James Harden's been playing, it's getting scary.
Having the rest of the protocol.
Nah, he's out.
No, he's out now. So he playing tonight?
He might. Boy, done froze again. And he been froze for a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna pause. We'll be right back. Okay, so we had some technical difficulties and things of that nature. But back to close out the show. Two more things. We're talking about KD and Kyrie, and they're coming back and being full strength. That's going to be a goddamn problem. But just a couple more things before we get on out of here. We got some vets coming back into the NBA via the G League. Kenneth Faried and Earl Clark are joining G League affiliates. I think I heard something about Ian Clark, too, joining the team. And Mario Chalmers just signed a 10-day with the Miami Heat. And the crazy thing is, I was talking to I'm not gonna say his name on here, but I was talking to him on Instagram, and he didn't know that Lance Stevenson was in the NBA. I was like, yeah, Mario Chalmers is next, and it happened. And the Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets game tonight has been postponed. So,
is that COVID?
Yes, the Nuggets don't have enough players. Yeah. That's what it says. And one last thing. You know who's next to sign a 10-day contract, right? Michael Beasley. We're going to speak it into existence, guys. But this is the end of the episode. I do appreciate everybody tuning in, watching, or listening, or doing whatever may have you. I'm going to start putting these on podcasting platforms. So if y'all can't watch, y'all just want to listen, you can do that as well. If you haven't already, go ahead and leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that good stuff. And if you're looking for more stuff from us, you can follow us on Twitter. Handle is at CozyBoydon, CozyBoydon. And you can go ahead and tell them where they can find you at, my brother.
Kenny.
Indeed, at __ 1K Kenny on Twitter. So until next time, folks, I hope everybody had fun and stay cozy.